Hi everybody, my name is Attila Toth. I'm a developer advocate for ScyllaDB, and this is the next video in the series about Terraform and the CIDR Cloud Terraform provider. And I'm going to be showing to you how to add a new IP address to the allow list of an existing ScyllaDB Cloud cluster. So you can connect to the cluster from that specific IP address. Before we get started, a few requirements. First of all, obviously you will need to have Terraform installed on your machine. I will put a link in the description that leads you to the Terraform documentation if you haven't installed Terraform already. Then the other important requirement is that you will need to have a Scylla API token. I will also put another link in the description that shows you how you can obtain a Scylla API token. And then finally, you will need to have a running cluster on ScyllaDB Cloud. Now, if you have followed the previous video where we created a new cluster using Terraform, you should already have a cluster on ScyllaDB Cloud. Now, I'm going to switch over to VS Code to show you the Terraform configuration file that we will be using. If you haven't created a new file yet, create a new Terraform file. I call it add to allowlist.tf because this will add a new CIDR block to the allow list of the cluster. And then I also have a variables Terraform file which contains the Scylla API token for ScyllaDB Cloud. So the first part of the configuration, the configuration file is the same as we used to create a new cluster. We just define the required providers. In this example, it's just the ScyllaDB Cloud provider. And then we define the API token for the provider. And then what will actually create, or what will actually add the CIDR block to the cluster is this part. This adds that specific block to the specified cluster. Now, the important part here is that you will need to specify the correct cluster ID. Now, where can you get this ID from? You can get this from, first of all, if you create your cluster using Terraform, like we did in the previous video. Let me quickly pull up that configuration, Terraform configuration. So if you create a cluster using Terraform, you can actually output the cluster ID once the cluster is created. So this is one way you can get the cluster ID. Another way is to just open ScyllaDB Cloud, the UI, the ScyllaDB Cloud application, and then you can find the cluster ID right here, and then you can just copy paste this ID into your Terraform configuration file. So if you got the ID, you can just define that cluster ID here, and then you define the CIDR block that you want to use. I just added a random IP address, and then this will be added to the allow list of the cluster. So once you created this Terraform config, you can initialize the Terraform project, and then you can also run Terraform plan to see what Terraform will actually do. And as you can see, it will just add the new item to the allow list. And then if you are happy with these changes, you can just run Terraform apply, and then approve the changes. And then this will be fairly quick. And if you open the ScyllaDB Cloud UI now, you can already see that the IP has been added here, or the block has been added here. So now you can freely connect to the instance using this IP address. So that's all I wanted to show you in this video. Let me show you some more resources so you can continue learning more about ScyllaDB and Terraform. If you have specific questions about Terraform or ScyllaDB, you can check out our community, forum.scylladb.com, and ask your questions there. I also suggest checking out the ScyllaDB University to learn more about not just ScyllaDB, but also about NoSQL databases in general. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.